I didn't even know that you could see that I was about to go live, but that's good for me to know because I just did like a spontaneous live right now. I've been wanting to test out YouTube also for the best time of day for YouTube compared to like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. So thank you guys for being here. You guys get the bonus of being able to see me actually selecting my breeders live heading into 2024. Some of them are already ovulating right now, and so we definitely want to be able to get ahead of that and get these geckos put into tubs and starting to get into breeding mode, you know? So I'm going to be doing that right now. Yvette, what's going on, Yvette? Good to see you. Let's see if this girl is ovulating. So we're basically checking for girls that are ovulating. And up to size, of course. And then we will set them up in groups. And then we will also pick husbands for them for the season. And they will be Gucci. Good to go. So... happy Friday. It is Friday, huh? I didn't even recognize that for a second. All right, this girl. So sometimes there's what I call a false ovulation, which this is going to be tough to show you guys, especially with the lighting, but there is no ovulation here. Hello? Oh. Expect Tatum. Tatum should be coming soon. So there is... it's tough for you to see, but there is like a red little dot that is always in the leopard gecko's tummy. That is not ovulation. So you have to be careful not to mix that up with what actually is ovulation. So let's check this next girl. Man, these tangerine girls are fire. They are going to be some good breeders. This one's got some nice orange going down her sides. You can see that right there. And I am not seeing any ovulation on this girl, so we will put her away. Now, usually, for me, it's the black knights that are ovulating the latest in the year, which would be right now. But Tatum's coming over, and she's going to have to clean these tangerines today, and so I just wanted to check these tangerines out. Here's an NDBE girl. She's pretty cool. Look at the amount of orange pigment that actually, look at that. Look at the amount of orange pigment. So the NDBE really brings in a ton of like deep, rich oranges and whatnot. And we want to test out breeding female NDBEs and get some data together for what % are infertile and all of that. So, all right, so far we have struck out. We are 0 for 3 so far. Mr. Wizard, Kiwi the Gamer. Here's a very nice girly. She's looking a little rotund. And nothing. You know, sometimes people are like confused whether their gecko is ovulating or not. And even myself sometimes, I try to like force myself to see that an ovulation is there. But after time and time again, I realize that if you have to force yourself to see it, it's not there. And if you try to breed that girl, it's just going to cause a scuffle between her and the male. So, all right, well, 0 for 4 so far with the tangerines. It's really the black knights that I'm expecting to be ovulating. But because Tatum is cleaning the tangerines, I need to check the tangerines first, because she's cleaning them before the leopard geckos. Your leopard gecko's name is Kiwi. Alright, let's check this out. This is just a medium-sized girl. She's not too big. No ovulation. 0 for 5. On the tangerines. Oh, this baby's nice. She's got some nice, like, deep orange pigmentation to her. And false ovulation. Remember I told you there's always that red dot in the middle of them? That is not an ovulation. Huh. I even put on that tub false ovulation. I wrote on it. Sometimes I write myself notes. Dang, this girl is fire. She be looking like a purple head. She be looking like a purple head. What's up, Lucid Arboreals? Cool name. This girl is not ovulating. Again, you won't have to force it very much. Sometimes the deeper that you bend the girl, that will show an ovulation. But in my experience, if you really have to push for it and look for it, there's nothing there, you know. And because I don't like to stress the geckos out as much as possible, I try not to, you know, we have so many, I try not to push them unnecessarily to breed, so I'll just check their ovulation at a later time. See, like this girl right now, I see a little bit of like redness, but no need to really push her. She'll come around in her time. Yeah, I mean, see, sometimes you have to give them a little extra bend, but nope, she is not ovulating. So, counting on days till January when I get those geckos. Oh, awesome. What geckos? Alright, let's check these next four now. Can I get a shout out in one of your videos? Sure, Kiwi the Gamer with Kiwi the Gecko. We're doing a lot of stuff on TikTok now too. Oh, check this one out. This one's pretty cool. This one's still kind of young, but it has like this white, it has this white kind of marking in the middle. Oh, the 4 that you ordered yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, no, correct. We got you. I didn't realize that was you. So I got my lights are actually in the storage unit. So we're stuck kind of with this lighting. But this lighting's not horrible, and we'll do more live streams later. The point of this stream is just to kind of, you know, see who's on. Look for ovulations. Keep testing the algorithm, right? Now that we're back up heavy on social media again, which if you don't follow us on TikTok and Instagram, TikTok is popping right now. We have like tens of thousands of viewers a day live on TikTok, and it's a really fun family and environment over there. So I would encourage you to get with our TikTok family over there. Ooh, this one's really nice too, but not ovulating. And again, I'm not expecting too many of these to ovulate because they're tangerines, and most of our tangerines are January through March ovulators. But we have to check these girls because Tatum is going to clean them today. So I don't want her to double clean a gecko that I'm going to put in a breeder tub and clean anyway, if that makes sense. So give him a little handstand. Nope, she only has a false ovulation. Alright, well that is 0 for 12. 12 tangerine girls checked, 12 strikeouts. Alright, let's pull the next 12. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Alright, nice little tang, nice armpit bubbles. And no ovulation. Alright, another nice Tremper Tang. No ovulation. Another, let's see, Tang, no Tremper, no ovulation, but you can see nice orange pigment going underneath the sides there. Oh, this is an NDBE as well, so that'll be good for, again, those NDBEs, man, I'll tell you, they really have those orange pigments. Deep orange pigments. This one's beautiful, but it doesn't look like, yeah, no, it's not ovulating. Sometimes you could tell the girls that are ovulating too, because they're, for lack of a better term, they're a little bit more like bloated looking. a little bit more rotund kind of thing. Let's see if I can change the resolution. I think the resolution's good. Should be about 1080p. All right, 4. That's 16 tangerines, no ovulations. All right, moving on to 17 through 20. What's up, Deez? How's it going, man? Just checking for ovulations. Here's a nice Tang girl. Nice little Mandarin Inferno. Ooh, she also has nice... the lighting is just garbage. She also has nice orange going into her belly, but not ovulating. And I was just telling everybody, Deez, I'm not expecting any of these girls to ovulate, but they're due for cleaning today. So before Tatum cleans them, I want to check them for ovulations. That way, we don't double clean them, you know, and waste time. No ovulations, so that's 18 no ovulations. 19 no ovulations. And these are all just our tangerines for now. I don't know how many we have, maybe 50 or more that I'll be... Ooh, this one's beautiful. Beautiful little Tang. I did some ov checks and cleaning earlier. Yeah, sometimes them girls be going in October, November, December, right? Actually, our Black Knights are the ones that really... I have about 30, 60... I have about 60 to 70 Black Knights I have to check after this. I just wanted to check these Tangs because Tatum needs to clean them first. So... But I'm really looking forward to seeing if the Black Knights are ovulating, and I bet you a lot of them are, because our Black Knights breed really late for us. Do you Oh, absolutely, leopard geckos, 100%. They're little hunters. They could last a long time without food or water, so they're very vacation friendly. What else? Oh, this one's still young, on the younger side. So that one I'm not even gonna check. They look like little dinosaurs. They could open and close their eyes at you. So, in my opinion, they're overall cuter because of that, but also more like cool looking. Like, they just look like little dinosaurs to me, you know. Thanks for your gecko content. Thank you, Chapter. This one's a little small. Oh, it's an NDBE. And again, you can see, or maybe you can't see, the orange pigment on the NDBE really wraps under the belly. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to test out as many NDBE females as I can this year to see if we can get fertile eggs from them, what percentage lay, all that kind of stuff, to throw some actual data and documentation for the hobby. All right, that's what is that? 4, 8, 12. That's 24 tangerines, no ovulation. Here's the next 11. All right, next 11. Also, we're doing a ton of stuff on TikTok now, so give us a follow on TikTok. We go live at like 9, 10, 11, 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's like tens of thousands of people on those lives. It is absolutely insane. So it's a very fun environment. Ooh, this one's cool. This one has like, this is a Tremper with some nice like emerine type stuff going on. Oh my gosh, the belly on this one is insane. Look at the orange on that belly. Earl's Reptiles, what's going on? No ovulation. But I'm not worried about the Tangs. They'll probably ovulate in like January or February. Here's another NDBE girl. Again with the orange pigmentation, almost touching the middle of her belly. Crazy. And you can safely work with NDBE as well if you just like work with the hets. And every once in a while you might pop out a visual that you can just sell as a pet. This one does have an ovulation. First ovulation of the day. It's hard for you guys to see. And honestly, it's even hard for me to see a little bit. It's not like one of those that's like bright shining, but no, it's definitely there. And she's got this beautiful like jungle, Tremper albino, tangerine thing going on. She is a little bit on the smaller side, but I don't think she's going to grow much. Like, let's see, her birthday. Oh, her birthday was May 12th of this year. So technically she still is growing a little bit. So May to June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So she's about 7.5 months old. She could breed for sure. I'll put her over in the breeding pile and then I'll decide if I want to breed her. But I might just like let her go another few months without breeding. I really like to recommend to people to let them fully grow out before you breed them is my #1 recommendation. But, you know, she's good weight, good size, good health, awesome genetics. Sometimes they don't want to bend their back, so you have to get them to stretch out a little bit more. No ovulation. Oops, let's do that. Cool, now we're getting some people rocking and rolling in here. This will be my evening shortly. NDBEs look cool. Yeah, they actually do look really cool. You know, they do have the eye issue where they can have like small eyes kind of thing, like squinty eyes. And I don't like that. Obviously, you don't want to produce any animal with the defect, but not all of them are like that, you know? And so I think if you could develop some clean lines of NDBE. Ooh, this one's nice. This one is a nice red stripe. Look at the stripes on that one. This one just has like more like true red color to it. Like for real. Like true red color to it. It doesn't feel like it's ovulating. You could usually tell when a girl's ovulating. Like her body will be a little bit more bloated, a little bit softer in appearance and feel. Yeah, we actually do have Bell stuff from the Norman Davis Legacy line. There's another girl, another big tangerine girl. She's too thick and muscular. It's almost like when they go into ovulation and breeding, they become more fatty. And when they're out of ovulation, they're more muscular, you know? So you can tell when you're feeling them and picking them up and holding them, you can kind of tell if they're going into ovulation or not. Basically what I'm saying is I could do this blind. No, I'm just kidding. No ovulation. Any plans to do Bell stuff? Yeah, with Norman Davis, we have like 10, 15 bells. All right, you have a good day at work, Wizard. We'll take good care of your geckos for you. All right, one more on this particular section there. Again, you don't need to force it. If they're ovulating, you will see it. Although sometimes you do need to bend their back a little bit more. Dude, we're doing a lot of live streams now, so be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, even Twitch and Rumble. Because I want to see if we could experiment with some waffles, replace the W with an R, and we will see if we can do some waffles on Twitch, because Twitch actually allows for waffles, and none of the other platforms do. And then Rumble, who knows what Rumble is right now. I mean, I have a Rumble. I actually released a video on it a long time ago, but I never really did much else with it. You know, I don't know. There's like no reptile people on Twitch too. It's insane. See, this one's a little beefier, a little fattier, a little softer, but I don't see an ovulation. It could be hidden under her fat. Like, she is a pretty chunky girl. Like, I could just feel the percentage of fat on her is higher than the percentage of muscle. Or I shouldn't say higher, but higher than the other ones, you know? But, no, I didn't see an ovulation, so she might be going soon. She might be getting ready. Her body is prepping. Her body is prepping. What's the most impressive project? Our Black Knight Afghanicus Turkmenicus, our Fasciolatus Max Snow, our Mandarin Inferno stuff, and then our Mandarin Inferno white and yellow stuff. All of that is really impressive. All right, that is 12, 24, 36. That's 34 tangerines. Oh, 35 tangerines, 1 ovulation. Bad odds so far. But again, I'm not looking for a ton of these guys to go right now. It's mainly our Black Knights that I think are going to be going into ovulation. But Tatum has to clean these guys. And because Tatum has to clean these guys, I need to check for ovulation so we don't double book them, you know? So they don't get cleaned like 2 times in a row, and it's a waste of resources and money and time and all that. So that one's pretty though. What was that? This is our Mandarin Fasciolatus project. Check this out. Mandarin Fasciolatus. You can't see it, but lots and lots of greens. Some nice emerines. There's a little bit you can see right there. Little bit more you can see. This is a generation 1. Imagine generation 2. Crazy. Gonna blow your mind. So also, yeah, our tangerine heavy spotting or heavy pattern stuff is something I'm really excited for about as well. Syrup on the waffles, yes sir. Look at this one. This is white and yellow tangerine generation 1. White and yellow tangerine generation 1. Very cool. She's a little on the smaller side. Not ovulating, so yeah. Her birthday's not on here. But I can usually tell if they're born this year. No ovulation, but check this one out. This is another white and yellow tangerine. Look at the head on that thing. That thing has a lime green head. Isn't that crazy? That's gonna make some nice babies. For sure. Alright, let's put the clips. Oh, clips is our newest method so that the geckos can't push the lids off. Tatum should be coming into work soon too. Alright, let's put this away. So that's 1 for 35, 36, 37, 38. 1 out of 38 ovulating right now from our tangerine stuff. Yo, what's up, SD? Oh, this one's nice. Check this one out. Right about now. Look at the green head on this one. This is a white and yellow tangerine. Very nice. There's another white and yellow tangerine. Now we're getting into some of our holdback Generation 1 crosses, which should produce amazing stuff in Generation 2. Because it's all about Generation 2. Here's another Fasciolatus Mandarin. Look at the pretty orange tones on this. It's like this kind of pastel-like type orange. Very cool. And no ovulation. So I am a little bit excited for Fasciolatus Mandarin. I'm a little bit more excited for like our bold Mandarin Inferno stuff because that stuff comes out with a lot of greens, a lot of blacks. And I think that's going to be really great for the future generations. I think Tatum's here right now. Let me go check. I think Tatum's here. Come in when you're ready. I'm just not alive. Yeah, T is in the house. The T girl is in the house. All right. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Only 1 out of 41 tangerines ovulating. But again, I'm not expecting them to ovulate. It's mainly the Black Knights that I'm going to do next. This one is small and might not ever become a breeder, but it has a very interesting look to it. Look at the way... Just look. Just look. Very interesting look. Boom. So, instead of selling it as a pet or giving it away for free, I just kept it to see what might become of it, you know. All right, now we have to instruct Tatum on what we need to do for the day. Ooh, this one's nice. This one is nice. This is like our fire project. So you can see from our fire project, some of the geckos have this more like reddish kind of orange pigment to it, for lack of a better term. I did not check ovulation. She is a little on the younger side, though. She is kind of beefy and bloated, like ovulating girls usually are, but she's not ovulating. What's up, T?
Hey.
Tatum's here.
I'm sorry, it's raining here, so my hair is all messed up.
I love the rain in Arizona because we only get it once every while.
It's nice.
So I set you up on the other side.
Yeah, I suspected. I just didn't know what you wanted me doing.
So Norman Davis, I think, has like 1 shelf left, Angie was saying, which I think is right here. So a lot of his geckos are really big and oversized. Yeah. So if it's a regular one, half a bowl. If it's a really, if it's chunky, 1/4 of a bowl. The white 1.5, and then if it's smaller, still growing, then a full 1.5. So we'll start with this, and then these 2 shelves will be next. That's why I'm looking for ovulations here, so you don't have to check, and then I'm out of your way. Thank you. Because I think after today, I don't see you or Angie until Tuesday. So like no one's coming in until Tuesday. Okay. So that's why I just figured we get in like 4 hours today, get as much done as we can, and then that kind of sets us up for the weekend. Okay. So this is actually a fasciolatus mandarin. The cool thing about this, it's a knobtail. Look at this. That is not a regrown tail. It's a knobtail. And I have a couple of these this year. So I want to see if, you know, kind of like bulldogs or like pit bull, like dog breeds that have like the shortened tail. I want to see if we could have like stuff like this to have a shortened tail. There was one gecko a long time ago that had a chameleon tail, but that one I just wound up selling as a pet. It never really produced eggs. It was a little bit on the smaller side. So if I come across a chameleon tail one again in the future, and I didn't know that Ron Tremper, I was listening to a podcast. I guess Ron Tremper actually tried to promote the chameleon stuff as well, and just like sold off those projects to other people to work, kind of thing. So hey Frank, just saw you're doing a live and thought I'd drop in. Oh Patty, hello. I'm trying to see if I can see your face to see which sister you were, but I think I can see enough to know which one you are. But thank you for coming. I was just sending a text to Sandra the other day because Sandra sent us a Christmas card. That was very nice of her, so I just sent her a text back, and we were chatting a little bit. But yeah, Tatum is actually cleaning some of the Norman Davis Legacy line geckos right now. So we have about 130 Norman Davis Legacy line geckos, and Patty, as you can see, is Norman's sister. So thank you for stopping in here, and yeah, thanks for coming. So we're gonna, you know, the goal with the Norman Davis Legacy line is to just kind of preserve the projects that he was working on, and then obviously like add and cross different lines in there and give people a chance to buy some of the offspring from geckos from his collection, because, you know, a lot of us here on this channel knew who Norman was, and I really liked Norman and our friendship, so I wanted to use it as an opportunity to promote his cool geckos and lines, and thought it was a good idea. So, oh no, you're good. I just filled that sprayer up with water too.
Thank you.
Outside, it fills up so much faster than... You get the hint? Alright, so that is 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. 44 geckos so far, and no... Well, one ovulation out of 44 geckos. But again, I'm not expecting these girls to ovulate. I'm just testing them so that Tatum can clean them, and I'm not in her way. Because we didn't want to double clean, right? So like if I had you clean all these geckos, and then half of them were ovulating, I would then have to re-clean them and set them up in breeder tubs, and that's just like a waste of resources, you know. So that's why I'm doing this now. But what I'm really excited for is the Black Knights, and testing the we have like 60 to 80 Black Knights over there. Those I think are going to be ovulating, at least a good majority of those. That's because they breed late for us in the year, so. So is Afghanicus darker locality? Yes. And it's great for Black Knight. That, yes. Correct. I believe it'll make them even darker. Do you think it's darker? So we actually do have Afghanicus snows. Look on our website, Afghanicus, Max Snow. They actually look pretty cool. But I think for me, what my main goal is with the Max Snow is more white, more lavender, less black, if that makes sense. So I'm not too crazy about the Afghanicus Max Snow project, but I think it is something very rare and very cool, and maybe one of you guys could do something with it. Max Snow Afghanicus mixed with Tangerine, I think would be amazing. So stuff like that. Or yeah, Max Snow Afghanicus. Ooh, I just thought of something. Max Snow Afghanicus mixed with Black Knight. Now that would be interesting. That's having me rethink the value that I place on those projected animals. But I think I do have some Generation 1 girls. What else do I have? So I bred the Generation 1 to Generation 1, which would still be 50%. So yeah, I will probably breed those into Black Knight. We really appreciate everything you're doing to keep his memory alive. Oh, thank you, Patty. It's my honor to do so. And thanks for stopping by and staying in touch. That's really cool. I mean to make it darker or maybe more purple. So the thing with purple is purple fades into the color of the gecko as the gecko ages. Let me say that again. Purple and green fades into the color of the gecko as it ages, which is why you will never see a green adult clown. Never ever. Very rare. And if you do, it's faded a lot already. And the level of green that you're looking at is not very much anymore. And when I say adult, I mean like 2 years, you know, 2+ years, because it keeps fading and fading and fading and fading. And honestly, a lot of clowns by 7-8 months old, they're already yellow. Which is why I'm not the biggest fan of selling clowns for a lot of money. Because I think to some degree, it could be a little bit of a scam or a little bit of a rip-off to people, because they're paying for this animal that they think is going to stay green, or they think it's going to stay purple, and it fades into a yellow gecko. I think the breeders that are taking advantage of people like that, I don't know. I think that, yeah, that situation just needs to be better. So, and I'm not saying that I don't like clown or think that it doesn't have a place in our morphs. I'm just saying how expensive they're sold for. You should never be paying $1,000 for a baby clown or a baby joker or any of that kind of stuff. You should pay for it as it ages and see which geckos actually hold their color and last the longest. because I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. The jokers and the clowns that get marketed for $1,000 when they look really, really good at 2 months old, if they don't sell, they get wholesaled for $100 or retailed for $100 at a show a year later because now they're yellow and they no longer look good. So I'm a big proponent for, I don't like when people are getting scammed, and I just like to call that out, you know what I mean? And address the truth in that instance. So that's my thoughts on that. I think good clowns and jokers can definitely sell for a lot, but they have to be older in age, and they have to show that they're holding their color and all that kind of stuff. The majority of clowns and jokers are not going to hold their color. They're just not. They're going to turn yellow. So going back to your question, purple pigment will fade into the base color of the animal. If the base color of the animal is orange, it will fade into orange. If the base color of the animal is yellow, it will fade into yellow. And same with green. So they can still breed in January, right? Yeah, leopard geckos can breed all year round. I just started streaming 30 minutes ago, 36 minutes ago. And right now we are on gecko number like 40 almost. And we're testing for ovulations. So we're looking for ovulations in our tangerine geckos. And then I will be checking for ovulations in our black night geckos. That is what I'm really excited for. Check this one out. This is a generation 1. This thing is going to look fire in generation 2. See the amount of... Now, the only thing that actually does hold greens is the white and yellow gene. So if you really want a green gecko or green colors on geckos, you really want to be going for the white and yellow gene. That's what you really want to be going for. And so see, this is white and yellow. This is white and yellow, tangerine, and then bold. And so when you take this animal and breed it to 100% tangerine animal, Lord have mercy, those geckos are going to look good. So I haven't gotten to tell the full story yet on camera, I don't think. But since Patty was in here, it was such an honor and a blessing when I went to Norman's funeral memorial service. I actually got to say a little bit something. I had no plans of doing that, and to a certain degree, I felt unworthy of going up there and saying anything because I had only known him for like 2-3 years, you know. But it was an honor for me to know him, and I was so fortunate to be able to say something. And I think what really encouraged me to say something was, for the first time ever in my life, I heard the word leopard gecko at a funeral. I mean, picture this for a second. You go to a beloved one's memorial service, and you hear the pastor, you know, talking about God and faith and salvation, which is all fairly common. And then which is great, by the way. When you go to a service and you hear that the person who passed away was in the Lord, or like had faith in the Lord, or was saved, that's always like the number one concern, right? Because this life is only 70 years, maybe, if you're lucky. And then you have the rest of eternity to spend somewhere. I think most people can agree that they feel like they're eternal. And that's because God put an awareness. He put an awakening of himself inside of you to let you know that, like, this is not the end. So call out to him and ask for him to reveal himself to you, and he will. You know? And so it's great to know that, like, Norman and others that you care about found that awakening and submitted to that awakening. That's the number one thing. But then after that, the pastor was talking about how much Norman loved his exotic animals and stuff. But he actually specifically mentioned leopard. Oh, this one's ovulating for sure. Ooh, and this is a cool one too. So check this out. This is an eclipse. It has a red dot on its back. And it's fairly orange for an eclipse. Remember, eclipse washes out the orange color. So when you get an eclipse that is actually pretty orange, you want to hold on to that one. And this one also is a little bit young, but we'll put her over here just to signify she's breeding, ovulating. And let me get these guys ready next. So the pastor, the minister at the memorial starts talking about leopard geckos. And then they open it up for people to speak, you know? And so people are speaking that actually know him from his life outside of the exotic animal world. And but then a guy gets up there and starts talking about how Norman, in like the last 5 years of his life, Norman was really into the fish world and aquatics. And I kind of knew this because even though I'm not super into aquatics, Norman, I had talked about it with Norman before, like on the phone and stuff like that, right? Ooh, this one's extremely bloated. This is one of those situations where sometimes it hides the ovulation, but she's a little young and I'm not seeing any ovulation, so we're just going to pass on her. So Norman had mentioned his love for me, not for me. Norman had mentioned his love to me about his love for like coral and the aquatics world. Yeah. By the way, coral is an intense hobby. If you want to break the bank. And then also, Norman also had like, he's also been into exotics and stuff his whole life. Like he had pet stores and all that stuff. And, you know, he actually tried to warn me and stuff. He was like, Frank, don't give all your time to your work. You know, you want to make time in your life for your family, your loved ones, because he knows how hard I'm trying to make this work and how much hours and time I'm putting into it. And so he always mentioned that to me. He's like, don't, because he learned from experience, don't put all of your life into your work, you know? So let me put these guys away. And what was I saying? Fish. So the guy got up there and started talking about how he was blessed to know Norman during Norman's fish days. And, you know, at a memorial of, at a celebration of life for someone, like one of the best things you could do is like, you know, cry, but also laugh and have joyful memories of like the memory of this loved one. And so he got up there and like just shared good memories of his experience with Norman in the fish world. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I need to back up for a second. So first, a guy got up there and talked about how Norman was really into bonsai trees, like 10, 15 years prior or something like that. And then he got out of bonsai trees and got into, so that guy gets down and stops speaking. And he's like, I knew Norman when he was into bonsai trees. We traveled the country together, all that kind of stuff. And then the fish guy gets up. And he's like, I knew Norman when he got out of bonsai trees and got into aquatics. And we traveled the country and we were on the national board of like aquatics and stuff like that. And so that guy gets down and I felt compelled. I was like, well, I need to talk about me knowing Norman after his fish days and in his, the start of his leopard gecko days, you know, which would go until his, you know, passing. And so I got up there and kind of talked about that a little bit. And it was just a blessing to be able to talk about Norman and also mention his love for leopard geckos and kind of relate to the people there because they knew how much leopard geckos meant to him. So that was like an easy way for me to relate to them. So anyway, very fortunate, very awesome blessing to be able to do that. And his family was super welcoming. And I'm obviously staying in touch with them and letting them know what happens with his line and stuff like that. My clowns are white, orange, and purple. Yep, they will stay that way until, as they age, like the purples and the greens will fade into yellow or more orange, you know. When do you start breeding your females? At what age? Ooh, that's a good one. So everyone's going to differ a little bit. My recommended answer to people is 10 to 12 months old and 60 to 65 plus grams. That's my recommended answer. Because even if a girl is 60 grams and she's 5 months old, she still might be growing and her body and organs and everything might be developing. And even though you could breed her if you can, I still think it's better that you wait until she is 10 to 12 months old, giving her body and her organs and everything more time to develop. Because I noticed leopard geckos actually don't max out in growing until they are 1 to 2 years old sometimes. Like they're growing millimeters, micro millimeters that you don't recognize, but then 2 years later you're like, hey, this animal is more muscular. This animal is more longer than it was 2 years prior. And so I like to consider that when making a recommendation to people. Of course, you could breed in the extremes, but I would not necessarily recommend that to somebody. So I like to say, 60 to 65 grams, 10 to 12 months old is a good, like, safe, I think, way to go about it. Here's one that is a little bit on the smaller side. See? So, like, this one is a little on the smaller side. She's not ovulating. But we have 2 geckos over there that I'm actually considering whether I want to breed them or not. They're very beautiful geckos, but they're only 7 months old. Sorry, I don't know. Oh, Tatum, can you text? You have Angie's number?
Yeah.
She just sent me a message. Can you text her that she can come and pick up her sweatshirt?
Okay.
I just saw, like, the text come through, and I can't respond on live. Alright, so this one's not ovulating. We really appreciate you speaking at Norman's service. It could not have gone better. We loved him so much and are so thankful we got to share more. Yeah, that was really awesome. That was truly a celebration of life. Like the people that got up there and spoke. And then I guess he also belonged to like some kind of masonry type mason, like some kind of like yeah, like deeper Christian organization, like at some point in his life, and they got up there and did a service for him. That was pretty cool. I bet you that was the first time ever. I bet you that was the first time ever a pastor talked about leopard geckos at a celebration of life. That's crazy. Are you still able to see ovulations through chunky females? I would say 99% of the time, yes. But there is 1% of the time where a female is so chunky that you might miss the ovulations. And forgive me for saying it like this, but you in that case, you do need to just like bend her back further over and make the ovulations kind of come out. And it doesn't hurt her, like you're not hurting her, but you do need to apply a little bit more bendage to her body to see those ovulations coming through, I'm new. What's happening? What's going on, Noah? Nothing much. Just talking geckos. Geckos, life, liberty, everything. Salvation, eternity, Very true. I stopped breeding Leos about 10 years ago and just getting back into them now. All right, so, ooh, this girl is chunky monkey. I bet you she's ovulating. Let's see. Look at how wide her base is. And that's how you can tell that a girl is ovulating sometimes, is she just has like a wide base. And she's extremely chunky, so I'm not seeing ovulations off the bat. So now I need to go deeper. Now I need to like bend her more. And I'm still not seeing ovulations. Still not seeing ovulations. Maybe there's something in her like upper chest area here, but usually ovulate. No, I'm gonna call it no. I'm gonna say no. And we have so many geckos, I don't need to like force her to breed. When you only have one gecko, sometimes it can't hurt to what's called test breed. So if you're unsure if a female is ovulating, just put the male in with her and you'll know right away whether she's ovulating or not. If you've seen the part of my old video intros that some people would give me problems about, there is a female leopard gecko rejecting a male. Well, that's the reason I put that in my intro, is because it's educational for people to know, what does a female rejecting a male actually look like versus submitting to a male, So, is this one Eclipse? No, this one's just Trimper. This one's fighting me. Sometimes they fight you and they won't let you bend their back. In that case, you just need to stretch out their forearms a little bit more and just kind of, you know, just kind of loosen them up a little bit, and eventually they'll bend. The other thing you could do is put them on a table, let them kind of walk. It's hard for you to see what I'm doing right now, but let them walk across a slippery table, because a slippery table will not allow them to get a hold of your hand and bend themselves in a different direction. Does that make sense? So if you're trying to bend her and she won't bend, and she's able to grab onto your hand because she could stick to your hand because it's a rough surface, she's going to pull herself in multiple directions, making it more difficult for you to actually bend her back. But when you let her crawl on a slippery surface, she's going to start slipping, and that automatically causes for her back to bend more, and it gives you an opportunity to get her in the position you need to see ovulation. So, tricks of the trade, you know? You got any blood tangerines, the red devils? No, but we have stuff that's very similar. So what you have to understand about tangerines is they're all the same, pretty much. Every tangerine has the same capabilities of being red, orange. It's just a matter of selectively holding back the ones that are showing more red or orange. For example, we have our Red Dragon project and we have our Fire Tangerine project. Those two projects are revolving around the Mandarin and Inferno tangerines that create more red babies. Now, I will say this. Mandarin tends to be a line of tangerine that produces darker, deeper oranges. Inferno produces brighter, greener oranges, and Blood sort of something in between, like it's a little bit of like just regular orange, you know. But through selective breeding, they all produce animals that are very, very similar in appearance. So it's not that like one is really better than the other. It's just that you want to pick the animals that are actually looking better in that instance. Regrowth. I know, that one's crazy.
Guy.
Yeah.
Guy, he ate all of his bowl though, so he's getting on weight, so it's good.
Oh, good. Yeah, we'll give him like a full bowl.
Yeah, no, I was like, hello, everybody.
Yeah, he kind of...
He's a knobtail.
Yeah, he's kind of funny formed kind of thing. So
he's just a sweet guy who's...
He has a big head and like a little body. So, yeah, very interesting. She thick. Yeah, she was thick. I like them big. I like them chunky. Tatum hates it when I sing meme songs.
It's just when you do them like too often.
You know what meme that is?
Yeah, it's from the thing that I sent you last night. Yeah.
The Actually?
Yeah, the Actually. Did you actually watch that though?
Regrettably.
Regrettably, it was so good.
You mean like the dragon robot thing?
No, so that was from... So he was basically recapping the first How to Train Your Dragon movie for those who've never seen it.
Yes. Okay.
He also
that makes sense.
Madagascar though too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Alright guys, Black Knight time. See if my theory is correct that more of these guys are going to be ovulating than the tangerines. So I think we still might have more tangerines. What are those at the bottom there? So you're doing Norman Davis line.
Yeah.
And then this stuff at the bottom, that's like mixed. So we do have, yeah, we do have more tangerines and stuff, but I think those geckos, they're okay. I need to check the Black Knights first. The only reason I started with tangerines today is so that Tatum can clean without me being in her way. Ooh. Beautiful Black Knight. Now you guys, we're getting to the juicy stuff, alright? Black Knight female, ovulating or not ovulating, you guys take a guess. You got, oh, maybe. Remember I told you, don't force yourself to see it. And right now I'm kind of forcing myself to see it. Let me see. Maybe, though. And actually, Black Knights are a little bit more difficult to test because they have black pigment that goes under their body. Derpy's doing okay. I don't know if you saw my announcement about Derpy, but He's facing, I think this one is ovulating. I want to say yes. So we're going to try. We're going to set her up. We're going to put her off to the side, set her up, and then we could check on her in another week again or so also. All right, so we got Tangerines here. We got Black Knights there. All right, I'm going to organize them by pure Black Knights, Black Knight crosses. So anyway, Derpy's doing okay. We just need to, he might be having some health concerns with his bone structure growing at a rate that is interfering with his eye socket. So we're currently testing that out right now. So we're not going to be showing him off on camera or anything during his process right now of us testing out what exactly is going on with him. But I do have some great pictures of him, and I am going to get some artwork done of him so that we can make like patches and pins of him and all that good stuff. So this is a Black Knight Snow. This is a Black Knight Snow Generation 1. Very cool looking. Very cool looking Black Knight Snow Generation 1. They breed normally, but it's the pure Black Knights that breed in weird times of the year. Like later in the year. This girl is a midget. So we might need to not breed her. Or we could try to create a midget line of geckos, like a mini line of geckos. Similar to how they have like mini horses and stuff like that, right? I do not see ovulation. Sometimes if they're really jumpy like this, I'll just let them crawl on my hand, and I will actually do the other ovulation check, which is like holding them by the body a little bit more, you know what I mean? Or just like not holding them by the base of the tail, you know? There we go. Now she's relaxing a little. I don't see her ovulating. She might be one that we actually just sell, but we'll see. Maybe we'll start a mini line of Black Knights with her. But in my experience, mini geckos do not breed very well. But I've only tried a couple of times, you know. Dang, this one is... Look at this. And it's in shed. When Black Knights are in shed, they have this like ghost gray look to them. It's insane. Yeah, I don't see her ovulating. But it is tough to tell on Black Knights sometimes when they're ovulating because they got a lot of dark pigment under their belly. Ooh, this one is rich, like in color. So here's another one. Very rich Black Knight. And can we get an Avi? No Avi. No Avi right now. We'll show her off one more time. She's pretty cool. That's essentially what you're going for in Black Knights. Alright, let's clip these babies up. And so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Black Knights checked, 1 ovulating. So we're already off to a better start than the Tangerines, which went 2 for like 50. But that's because I told you guys the Black Knights tend to breed later in the year for us. Or earlier, however you want to look at it, you know. November, December, into like January, February. Or even some of them like October. That's why I say later in the year. No, this one's not. Again, don't force yourself to see it. If you have to force yourself to see the ovulation, it's probably not there.
I found a sibling.
Oh, yeah. The sibling of the...
Weird tailness and the weird spine.
The funny gecko. Yeah.
They're good eaters.
All right, here's another one. This one, could possibly be part of our gold line project or gold dust project. So it's hard for you to see, but it actually has like some speckling of like yellow gold pigment. Let me get a little closer. Yellow gold pigment. And we have a male that has that goldish color to him as well. So we're calling that the gold dust project. I don't know if I showed that the last one before that, so I apologize if not. But what's up, Petsotics? We're supposed to do an interview with Petsotics as well as like other breeders and stuff. I think like January 4th. So I'll let you guys know about that. This one's a little on the smaller side, but beautiful. Beautiful Black Knight gecko. Sometimes it's nice when they have like this silvery, like remember Tatum, we were talking about the werewolf would be a cool name for a morph.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
I actually put that previously on like some of these guys that have this more like silvery tone look to them, kind of.
I love like monster names. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Even though silver is deadly to a werewolf, or is that a vampire?
That's both.
Both. A vampire needs to be some through the heart, or
Stick through the heart with wood or something like that.
yeah.
Not that I know.
All right, back to more Black Knights. Yeah, you probably haven't met too many vampires in your life, huh?
Well, there is this one.
Yeah. Here's another small one right here. But again, these small ones are on the healthier side rather than like the non-healthy side. So they have this like silvery tone look to them. So if I was to breed them, we would try to create a mini line, and we do have ovulations. Bam. Boom, 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 right there in the middle of the body. So 2 out of 8 so far ovulating.
This Diablo is very pretty.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, one in
And it's the most polite Diablo Blanco I've ever met.
Oh, okay.
All of ours hate us.
Yeah, I just never got lucky with the Diablos in our
They
collection.
just hate us. I don't know. They hate everyone.
Golly, this is another nice one. Now, what you're looking for with Black Knights is you want size, robust, thickness. You want them big. You want them juicy. So, this one is a nice big one as well. You can see how thick and rich. You want muscle on them also. Some geckos don't develop as much muscle, and when it comes time for breeding season, their fat reserves deplete very quickly. And if they don't have like those muscle reserves and stuff like that, that can help. It's just better to have like a thicker, more robust animal than not. And that should include muscle and fat ratio. This one is not ovulating though. Let's clip her up. We clip all of our tubs so that they can't pop the lids off. Because if you buy tubs with lids, they're very expensive. And then we need to make more racks as well. So, yes.
Do I have permission to speak?
Oh, yeah.
Just messing around. So you want me to start working on this one and this one, I presume, right?
So you finished?
I'm about to be done like
Yeah.
you. I just wanted to ask now.
Well,
Just
let's
'cause
check. So
that way I don't have to bother you later.
this was 22nd.
Yes, today.
This was 20th. This was 14. Oh, wait. 19?
Yeah, that's 19.
Is that the normal line, though?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Candy. So, NDLL, so she did that down there. So, yeah, you would just move to that one then. Those two shelves, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we should be good.
Okay.
Because that is...
You're saying like for today?
Or, well, we can... After that, we can hit like whatever older
Oh,
stuff
okay,
there is
cool.
also.
I was like, what?
Yeah. I think there's some other stuff that's a little older too.
Okay.
But we can look at that. When you're done with that, we can figure that,
Yeah, for sure.
that part out. Alright, let's see. This next one is very nice. Check this out. Black Knight. Bam! Another very nice Black Knight. Very, very nice Black Knight. Nice, thick, muscular, chunky. I'm gonna go not ovulating. Remember, if you have to force yourself to see it, it ain't there. And in my experience, you're just gonna waste your time trying to breed those females. But if you only have one female, then do it. But if you got 100 females, it's gonna be a waste of your time for the most part. So just wait till you actually see the ovulation. The worms get smelly when they die in the water bowl.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, that probably is the worst smell. Worse than just poop.
Yeah, or regurges.
Or regurges. Alright, so out of our first 4, 8, 9, 10, out of our first 12 Black Knights, 2 of them are ovulating. So, pretty good odds so far. And some of these guys actually finished breeding like 2 months ago or so. So some of them won't be going back into breeding until like next like August or something. Oh my gosh, this one is really big. Y'all are gonna see a really big Black Knight. Not right now, not this one, but the one that's coming up. Here's one that has a little bit more of like that goldish color to it. We're not going to be looking at any eggs right now this second. I need to look at all these girls that are ovulating and check them. Yeah, this girl's not ovulating. And we're heading into breeding season right now, so we probably only have, I don't know, what do you think, Tatum? Like 50 eggs in the incubator right now, maybe less than 50.
Not that much.
Usually, yeah, when the biggest part of breeding season comes, there will be hundreds of eggs in the incubator.
Oh yeah, we have babies coming out like every 2 days.
But this season, we're really focusing on high-end stuff. So we have a ton of stuff left over from last season that is like $50 to $100 animals. So we don't need to like reproduce those morphs. You know, like, I don't know, we'll see. But see, this one again, I call this a false ovulation. But let me see, this one's looking like a false ovulation turning into a real ovulation. So check this out. You see that bright pink dot right there? That is what I call a false ovulation when it's red. But when it's pink like it is right now, I think we're going to go with that being a regular ovulation, and we're going to put her in the pile. But normally it's like a deeper red color and not bright at all. That's a false ovulation.
Do you have like a little tub so I can soak this guy? He just got a little stuff. Should we it?
Better thing to do would be just run him under the sink.
Oh, and fight him. Okay.
Yeah, use the tweezers.
For sure. I'll do that.
But if not, you could use any of the 6 quarts, you know what I mean, that we have like up there or something like that. Oh, clips. I need to clip something. Hello, Marie May and blah. Oh, here's the big one, guys. Golly. This girl's a monster. For a Black Knight. She is also not ovulating. But check her out. She's got some really nice, like, orangey black tones to her. And goldish tones to her. She's big. She's a big girl for a Black Knight. Oh, was I putting these over here? that I was done with. You know what's so weird? A lot of our Black Knights are kind of squirrely a little bit. Like they're very jumpy. But their dad, the one that created them all, is like the nicest boy. The nicest boy ever. Crazy. Man, I really want a black one, but I know those are high priced. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be looking to produce so many black ones that we could get you a good price on them, for sure. So, this one, also not ovulating. And so you can see some Black Knights don't come out as dark. So you can see this one's not super dark. Still jumpy, though. Our Black Knights are either the calmest geckos in the world or the most feisty geckos. Wait, is this 3? Oh, yeah, okay. So we're going to put 2 here. One here. And let's continue checking. Also, through our website, you could actually purchase geckos through payment plans where you could get your gecko now, but pay it off across time. This is one of the most beautiful. I kind of look at it as like camo. Like, look at the way like the pixelation and whatnot is broken up. It looks like almost camouflage. You know, like something trying to blend into the woods. And this is actually a pretty big girl. Pretty nice girl. Oh, man, she's got that fake ovulation thing, but it's bright pink as well. Oh, no, she's got 2. So she is officially ovulating. Yes. See what I mean? When the false ovulation is actually bright pink, it's an actual ovulation. So she's really cool. Again, she'll be going into breeding right now. She has one of the coolest looks. Yeah, she's like a camo Black Knight. You know, the way that her pigmentation is like broken up and stuff like that. Pretty cool. So she's going to head over to the ovulation side over here. Let's see what else we can find. Can we get some more ovulators? This girl's nice. She's dark. Check her out. Nice and dark. And see how they push off your hand? So that's why your hand sometimes for one that's jumpy is not the best way to check. You want to use like a kitchen table or something, a slippery surface that they can't actually grab onto. She's not ovulating though. She is not having me holding her. Ooh, this girl's big. She's another big Black Knight girl. Check it out. Good size to her. Beefy, chunky. That's what you want in a Black Knight for sure. Ah, stop jumping, girl. Stop jumping. When they're jumping, you don't want to really be holding onto their tail too hard. So that's why I just kind of like juggle them. And in that case, sometimes I'll like barely try to hold them or just let them go more often. You don't want to be like forcing holding that tail kind of thing, you know. She's got that false ovulation. Is it bright pink though, or is it red? No, I'm gonna go no with her. And like I said, we'll check her again in a couple weeks, and she might be yes by then. Ooh, this one's nice. This one must have came from like a tangerine cross or something. You could see like some orange pigmentation under its belly and stuff like that. This one's nice. This one's also from our Sailor Moon project. You could see the circles. Do you see those circles? So we're trying to get Black Knights that produce high amounts of circles or like very clear circles. Call them our Sailor Moon girls. And no ovulation. No ovulation for Sailor Moon. But golly, Sailor Moon looks tight. She a good looking Black Knight. She a good looking girl. Got a little orange in her tail. So ones like this that are in our Tangerine project, we'll take those and we will breed them to like lavas or other stuff. See, I put on here, stunning project, GoldenEye. The GoldenEye project. You got any albino mixed with Black Knight? Not right now. My #1 goal over the last few years was to make as many Black Knight breeders as I could. Females, because they're the ones that produce the eggs, right? And then my goal after that was males. And I wish I had more males up to size right now, because now I have a ton of females and I have like younger males, if that makes sense. So I have like 2 or 3 Black Knight males that are like good size, like fully grown adults. And then the other ones are like 7, 8, 9-month-old adults that are, you know, a little bit not full grown. And so you don't want to push those too hard when breeding. So any Tang males under 100 you would recommend to pair with a female. Go to geekygeckocreations.com. We got a ton of stuff on there right now. Very low prices for the holidays. Very low prices on shipping. It's a great opportunity. geekygeckocreations.com. Dang. This one is nice. Again. With the Black Knight. Another Black Knight. Super nice. And she's got the chunkiness of an ovulator. I just don't see it. I'm just not seeing it. Just not seeing it. Let's try again. I'm going to call no for now. Executive decision. Going to call no. No ovulation. Remember what I said? Don't force it. If it ain't there, don't force it. Another Black Knight. This one is kind of in that silvery type project, which is like our werewolf project, so to speak, you know? Silvery Black Knight. Are you good?
Yeah, it just took a hot minute. That just took a hot
to get that one shed off
no,
his toe?
No, it was like quite a few.
Oh, did he have a few toes?
Yeah, okay. And then I wanted to give him a break because he was like getting really mad.
We'll give him a full bowl too. His tail
skinny,
is a little skinny, yeah.
That took me quite a while. Well, I didn't want to like force.
No, you're good. I mean, I appreciate when you guys take the time that is needed to, you know, we had a gecko with some shed stuck on his toes. You got to take care of that, and you did. You did a great job. So this one, this one also has a false ovulation, but the false ovulation is actually looking pretty bright and pink. So we are going to treat this one as if it's a regular ovulation and put it off to the side. And that one was born actually exactly 1 year ago. What are the chances of that? Wait, no, 12/19 of 22. So I'm gonna definitely look into one of those maybe in a few months. Yeah, they really are. Black Knights, cream of the crop for sure. This one is interesting. It has its health concerns, but it's going into shed right now. But it has a very interesting look to it. If you look at the tail, the way that the white on the tail kind of shows is very interesting. It's just like this gecko is like not a fully grown gecko. It's a little bit runty. I just think it has a little bit weak genetics, but sometimes that happens. The most interesting looking geckos, whether it's tangerine or whatnot, will have weak genetics. You see how much cream and white is going down its tail? It's just very interesting looking for how black its body is. But you can see overall it's just not the greatest structure. That's the word I'm looking for. I saw Gecko ID 338. Do you think he is ready to breed? Anything that is 35 to 40 grams is within 3 to 4 months of being ready to breed. Now, you can breed them sooner, but if you watched my video a long time ago about breeding males too soon, when you breed males at 55 grams, they tend to prolapse more often than a male that is full grown. So it's a little more risky. 124, 23. So see, this gecko is almost 11 months old, but it's a little bit small. Some black knights will be a little bit small, but it's ovulating. So we're going to breed her because of her age. Remember when you asked me earlier about age and weight? So you want to look at the age. You want to see if that gecko has had ample time to grow to its full potential. And for the most part, a gecko at 11 months is pretty much done growing with the exception of like micromillimeters and stuff like that, you know? All right, we're going to do the rest of this Black Knight shelf. And then I'm going to take a little break. And maybe I'll do, I don't know, TikTok or Twitch. We're going to start, I think we're going to start doing some Twitch. Because we could do waffles on Twitch. Replace the W with an R, and we could do waffles on Twitch. So you guys can come in. You guys could give a certain amount towards, you know, like a prize or something like that. And we should be able to do that on Twitch or Rumble. So those are two platforms I'm going to be looking at for fun game type events like that to like win cool animals. Because apparently even TikTok does not want to venture into the unknown world of waffles. Yvette, you can't do waffles on YouTube? No. You cannot. Oh my gosh, those worms are, holy cow, stinking up the water bowl. Here's another big Black Knight right here. She also has like that pixelated kind of look to her, which I think is pretty cool. I think the pixelated look is kind of cool. And is she an ovulator though? No. She gave me a little bite. Usually they don't bite. It was just a little warning bite. Yeah, Tatum is always for the girls. You know how there's like for the boys clips? Tatum's always for the girls.
As she should.
As she should, again, supporting my claims. Did Angie come for her sweater yet?
She's going to be here soon.
Oh gosh, look at that. That's nasty, guys. That's
I
nasty.
Say, oh gosh, because Andy's on it. What's wrong with that?
Oh man. The worms.
That's what I have to do with you, David.
I don't know. What do you think it would take? How much money would you eat that for? Or drink like a worm Slurpee for? Oh my gosh. That's just hard. Like, your gag reflexes like come into play. So, see, this one's a little bit more silvery. And I bet you the silver ones are also Max Snow because we do have Max Snow mixed in with our Black Knight stuff. So, pretty cool. And I'm going to go no ovi. No ovulation with this one. I love the pixel look. Yeah, I don't know if you were here earlier, Yvette, but we showed off one that was even darker. It was crazy looking. Like, absolutely insane. This one was a little bit lighter. Or the last pixel, I should say. That I should. Ooh, this one's nice too. And so this is a Max Snow Black Knight. Also has some smelly worms. Female again. Let's see her ovulation status. Ovulation status is, I think it's a no-go. See how jumpy these Black Knights are? It's crazy. Their dad is the calmest boy literally in the entire world. Like, I'll show you their dad right now. Or their dad or their granddad.
Cedric?
No, not Cedric. Our original Black Knight boy.
Okay.
He's a little on the thinner side from breeding 300 girls this year. But look how sweet he is. He literally is the sweetest thing.
Hi, handsome.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally like the sweetest guy.
Doesn't like me. Just kidding.
Yeah.
This one's really pretty.
Yeah, that was cool. So that must be a bell or something like that. Is that from Norman?
Yeah.
So, there's the dad.
It says Viper Bolts.
Oh, okay. Viper would be the female. Bolt would be Viper bolts. Ooh, this one's a biggins. Holy cow, I'm opening up Godzilla here. Oh, never mind. It's not super big, but it's still good size for a Black Knight girl. You got to look at chunkiness. You have to look at musculature. And she will be a good breeder for sure. Now remember, you don't need pure black geckos to make pure black geckos. So it's actually better to breed pure black ones to like outcrossed ones. So that's what ones like this are really good for. The reason is because the ones that are more black, when you breed blacker ones to blacker ones, they actually end up like smaller and more runty on average, and you're going to have more health problems with that. Golly, another worm bowl disaster. So see, this one is a little bit on the smaller side. Have you Black Knight to Tangerine? Yes, we have some Black Knight Tangerines. This year, we're actually doing a lot more Black Knight Tangerines. I have good news. The female Tang we have been talking about is ovulating. Should I pair her or add some weight before? Well, how old is she and what does she weigh? Those are things that we need to take into consideration. Because I would not pair a girl that is 40 grams if she's ovulating just to be safe. You know what I mean? Like in your instance, the recommendation is not to pair that. Of course you can. There are a lot of people that breed girls at 40 grams, and I've even tested that out myself. I bred girls as small as like the 38 grams going into breeding season, and they lay for me 14 perfect eggs, and they do perfectly fine. But then I've had other girls that are like 50, 55 grams, and they just slug out. They just don't do well. Some of them will get stressed out and go off food and get skinny. So I think at the end of the day, the risk has to be worth the reward. And so if you're asking me for what is best, the best recommendation I could give you is 10 to 12 months old and 60 to 65 grams on average. Of course, Black Knights are not going to be 60 grams, so that differs. And shorter girls like Afghanicus's are not going to be 60 grams, so that differs. But you get the idea. You want a girl that has been fed for 10 to 12 months as much as she'll eat. She's grown as much as she'll grow. For the most part, she's still going to grow little micro bits and stuff like that. I know a lot of people that won't even breed the girl until she's 1.5 years old, so it really just depends. But the minimum recommendation that I like to give for people is 10 to 12 months and 60 to 65 grams. Both of those should apply. But of course, there's no law stating that you cannot breed a gecko smaller. You just might have a higher risk of the girl going off food, the boy being much bigger than her and having a difficult time breeding her, or being rough with her because she's smaller. She can't take as much damage as him. A normal girl can take a lot from a male. A matter of fact, it's the females being aggressive to the males that you normally have to worry about when breeding if the geckos are the same size. But if they're not the same size, then you need to worry about the male, kind of being too rambunctious with the female. Because males tend to get bigger than females, so... Nothing. All right, we're on our last 4 for this shelf. And then I have another shelf of Black Knights, but I'm going to take a break. I'm back, had to get my bug order. Cool. I'm curious, do you use heat equipment in your setups? We use ambient heat. So we have a heater that heats our room, and then we have $700 worth of fans that circulate air in this room to keep the temperature even across the entire room. And we shut those fans off right now because we're on the live stream, and also Tatum doesn't like them. She says they're annoying because they're so powerful. Here's another chunky Black Knight that's a little bit on the more gold side, so you can see more goldish color to her. So she would be good for a golden eye project or a gold dust project. And are you ovulating, sweetie? Let's see. It's tough to tell. She's got something that almost looks like she's ovulating, but I'm going to executive call no. Remember, the slogan, if it's not there, don't force it. Sometimes it's like nail-bitingly close, where you're like, is it there? Is she ovulating? In those situations, by all means, try to breed her. And if you only have like 1 to 5 girls, try to breed them if you're confused. But we have hundreds of girls, so it's just not economical for us to like try when we could just wait another week or 2 or another month or 2, and then it'll become apparent, like 100% apparent that she's ovulating. You know what I mean? Here's a dark one that's really spunky as well. She doesn't want to transfer to my other hand. So, see, the darker ones sometimes are a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. And she is, dang, she's bloated, but she's not, I don't see ovulations. She actually might be like absorbing eggs from last season. Like her belly is blue. And I don't think anybody knows the medical reason why sometimes their bellies are blue. But, like, not her whole belly, but you could see a portion of it is. So she might have been like breeding last season. Like it's a little bit more blue than what a normal belly is. So we'll let her rest. We'll, you know, give her time to come around. What's up, Hyro? I have the male I want to pair at 55 and the female at 45. I'm going to add 10 grams. Yeah, definitely. I would not pair a girl at 45, personally. I think you're going to encounter issues that you're not prepared for. You know, as a experienced breeder, you know how to force feed geckos. You know what signs to look for. You know how to de-stress them and get them back on food to the best of your abilities. As a newer breeder, you might not know that. So, just my friendly advice, I would wait till that girl is bigger.
She got her sweater.
Okay.
Just like you should know, just in case you were worried.
So I would wait till she's bigger, but I mean, and the same with the male. We did a video a couple months back, like earlier this year, showing that when a male is only 50 to 55 grams, he has a higher likelihood of prolapsing. And you don't, again, if you're new, you don't want to deal with that because you might freak out. You might do a whole bunch of stuff that actually makes the situation worse. And then he might be out of breeding, out of commission for the next year or so, or forever. By any chance, Frank, are you looking for ball pythons? Not really right now. I have a bunch of balls I'm trying to sell, but you're not interested in them anymore? Yeah. Power to the leopard geckos. Black Holly Exotics. How's it going? All the way from the UK. Awesome. 2 females, 2 males. All right, so that is, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 24, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Out of the first 36 Black Knights that we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are currently breeding, so that's 1/6. And then when we did the tangerines, or ovulating, when we did the tangerines, that was like 50 tubs, and only 2 of them were ovulating. So see what I mean? Our Black Knights breed for us much later in the year. So I'm going to take a break, and then I might be live on TikTok, Twitch, or Instagram, but probably not Instagram, probably TikTok or Twitch, or maybe I'll come back here to YouTube. But follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, of course. And then we're going to get Twitch and Rumble going a little bit so that we can maybe do some waffles, replace the W with an R. We'll do some waffles and some fun stuff on those platforms that actually allow it. So Twitch is... Actually, I'm creating my Twitch right now. I don't officially have it yet. Like, my email is connected to a Twitch. My email is frank.cuzzolina@gmail.com. So I don't know if you could look me up by that. Yeah. And Twitch actually has a really good camera similar to YouTube. So, you know what I mean? On their streaming platform. And you could do it from your phone also. So, there's literally nobody on Twitch that is Leopard Gecko people. So if you type in Leopard Geckos on Twitch, you will probably find whatever video I title Leopard Geckos Live or something like that. Actually, no, that's Rumble. Rumble I have one video out on. So anyway, I'm going to take a small break, and then I'll be back live to look at the rest of the girls that are ovulating. Maybe. Or on TikTok, we'll be live tonight, and we'll do our normal thing where I'm showing off the 5 geckos, and you could go on our website, geekygeckocreations.com, and you could shout out ID numbers of geckos that you want to see live and in person that are from our website. So, well, if you think about it, I'm on Twitch as well, CountryBuck45. Okay, I have to get used to Twitch also, so I'm not very used to it, but yeah, maybe see you guys on Twitch. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you have a good Friday, a Merry Christmas Eve, and I will talk to you guys soon. If you need to know any information, or you just want to know when and where I'm going live at, then shoot me a text. My phone number's on our website at the very bottom of the homepage. You can shoot me a text or an email, or just follow us on Instagram, YouTube,
Just post on your story, be like, hey, we're going live on this website.
and TikTok. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. Watch this back. We showed off a lot of tangerines, a lot of Black Knights. Pretty cool conversation, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a Geeky Gecko great day. Peace.